the neighbors down there that didn't have electricity managed to put together pots of soup, and they were distributed to the people down there whose homes were just destroyed. And the American Red Cross was nowhere to be found. And I am not ashamed to say it's an absolute disgrace of what's taking place in a county that has always responded to disasters all over the world.
I'm glad that Chuck Schumer took the time to get the United States Senate shield out before he took to the microphone. How much money have we raised so far? The number for the Red Cross? $11 million. $4 billion for Katrina. Why is that? Things are so bad in Coney Island, people are boarding themselves up literally in their homes to avoid the roving packs of teens. They already have a name for these roving packs of teens that you won't hear about on any news organization. They're calling them wolf packs. Why do I know this about Coney Island? This is Coney Island. Why do I know how bad it is there? Well, who was the first on the scene in Coney Island? It wasn't FEMA. It wasn't the Red Cross. It was Mercury One. This is our staff on the ground witnessing the looting taking place and looking in the basement of buildings and churches to see what we could do to help. The people there were extremely grateful. They were grateful that anyone decided to show up to help. They recorded this last night.
Okay, Mr. Glenn Beck, you have no idea what these two guys have brought to us today. The hope that's extending here in Coney Island and Brooklyn and beyond. You were the first people to come to this community, to this church, and just say, what do you need? And that's God's honest truth. They didn't know where they were going to turn today. And I'm glad you're there. Thank you so much, sir, and I hope we get to meet each other in person one day. God bless you.
This is a church that we found over the summer, and they are connected to 20 other churches. We know the best way to help people is through the churches. They will help their neighbors. They're the ones that they know about the neighbors in Coney Island that have boarded themselves up in their own house. They are the ones that know exactly what people need. Mercury One, since we met last night, has raised $340,000 for hurricane relief efforts so far. But we can do so much more than that. $355,065 if you go to mercuryone.org and you click the Donate to Mercury One Disaster Relief Fund. And I want you to know, when you click on the Mercury One Disaster Relief Fund, every dollar goes towards the Hurricane Sandy Relief Fund. That's all we're going to spend it on. We can't spend it. I just got a note from the guy who runs Mercury One. He said, Glenn, thanks for the hotel room. We had to find a hotel room and we used your credit card. I'm not going to allow our team to go out and spend your money so they can go, even though it's part of their gig, and put it in a hotel room. I want your money to go directly to the people who don't have food, don't have water, don't have electricity. Help those people. I'll pay for the hotel rooms and the airfare and everything else. That's what this does. If you want to donate and have it go to help, offset some of the costs on other things, including other charities, hospitals and everything else, you can go donate to the general fund. But this is just for Hurricane Sandy. And I want to show you why we're doing it that way. This is a story that just broke. This is from Australia. This story is billions in tsunami aid spent on unrelated projects. A government audit in Japan has found that a quarter of the projects being financed are not related to tsunami rebuilding. Some of the things being funded by Japan's tsunami reconstruction budget range from the obscure to the bizarre, including an advertising campaign for Japan's tallest building, fighter pilot training, and even support of their controversial whaling program. We're tired of our money being wasted in Washington and by charities, and the burden of taking your money, and it keeps my staff up at night. It does. I hate the charity business. I hate it because it's such a burden. That's why I can't wait until 1791 is completely off the ground and going, because then I'm not going to ask you for another dime. I'm just going to fund all this stuff myself. But the point is, $11 million is all we've given. Why? Have we been fundamentally transformed? Has America been fundamentally transformed? Because this is where we shine. Is it that it's Manhattan and we can't relate? Have we changed that much since September 11th? Or is this stuff happening and you're just not seeing it because the media is in with big government and the media has another agenda? I'm telling you, the media right now, they could have a house on fire behind me and they'll look you right in the eye and say, there's no fire here. We don't know what you're talking about. There is no fire. And you know. I don't think we've been fundamentally transformed as a nation. I hope to God not, because if so, we're done. But that's not what's happening. The churches and the decent people all across America that don't get any coverage are already doing stuff. I just got a note from Yvonne Donnelly at the 912 Project before I went on the air. They're collecting donations of gift cards to give to the residents of Breezy Point, New York, who lost everything due to fires that ripped through their neighborhood. And if you want to give to that one, you can go to the912project.com, see how you can help there. And the latest on the storm, if you want the truth on the storm, go to TheBlaze.com for all the latest updates. By the way, this fire, we're going to be helping these people as well. We'd like to see, we're not going to waste your money. Give to the Disaster Relief Fund, and we're going to give it to the churches and the people around there that will help these people. Churches and the synagogues, the people who are on the ground. We're not fundamentally transformed into something that we're not. We're good, decent people. I don't know what's happening with $11 million so far in disaster relief, other than people just expect the government to do it now in the Northeast. Not their job. It's ours.